What's going on? It's your boy Pop DiBiase for Fanatics View. I'm sitting here with some Texas boys. Devontae Harris, cornerback of the Saints and the Bucks, and the legendary Martellus Bennett. Man, Cowboys, Bears, Packers, Pats. Am I missing anybody?
Giants.
Giants as well.
What part of Houston you from?
Dallas, baby.
Oh, you from Dallas?
I'm from Dallas.
What area?
Oak Cliff, Texas.
Oh, you from Oak Cliff?
Yes, sir.
I was out in Oak Cliff with Tone.
Okay.
I went to is it Wamswat? What's the name of the school?
Comstock?
Nah, it's almost they want to shut the school down, but I can't think of the name of it.
That's like half of DISD.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So
Man.
I was just wondering that.
Hey, I love it. I love it. All right, fellas, growing up in the state of Texas, man, you guys were both high school superstars. You were a two-star All-American, basketball, football. I do know that. And you were also a baller as well in high school, All-American as well. So how did it feel going through the, Pop Warner system and everything like that? How did you guys even select your high schools?
We didn't have a choice. It was a draw, so my neighbor went to a different high school than I did. But I didn't really have a choice. It's just school picks you. So you got to either go to Elsick, Hastings, or Taylor, and it was a random thing. So my next door neighbor went to a different high school for me. Like my neighbors, all of us went to different schools, which is not good for community. Right? Because it separates the kids in the community because now my neighbor, I don't go to school with him, so it's like we could be friends, but I don't see him at school. He has his friends from school. So I think it kind of breaks communities down by doing a shuffle like that. I should go to the same school as everyone in my neighborhood.
Understood. How about you?
Well, it was kind of on a similar path. I went to a school outside of my school district. That's just how, we was doing other things back in the day, trying to make teams, just in all honesty. But I mean, like, I'm not trying to say we was cheating, but we trying to win. So, growing up in Texas, he know how serious that Texas high school football is. So, I mean, it was kind of like luck of the draw like his, but we kind of like forced our way on the schools in the Dallas area anyway.
All right, perfect. Now, you guys are both entrepreneurs. You are an award-winning author. You actually run a pub, and now recently opened. How does it feel?
A pub.
A bar.
On
Nice.
On McKinney Avenue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. So when you come to Dallas, come holler at me.
Tell me about it.
So we got it's like a comfort. It's like a mix between upscale and comfort food. Jumbo baked potatoes, shrimp and grits, brunch.
What made you want to do that?
Man, I just don't want to work for nobody else, bro. Like, in all honesty, like I
know the NFL is the last people I will ever go to work for.
I told my mama that, and I'm sticking by that. I'm not working for nobody else. And I also own a gym too, like 11 minutes from my pub. So make sure you come holler at me, man.
Bro, let me know.
I got you. I get your contact after this for sure.
So, what would you guys tell the youth? Because you guys are Texas boys, and there's a lot of great athletes down there. They're all getting recruited. What would be your message to them moving forward if they get into the NFL, things like that? Since you both are entrepreneurs, get the money. It's not get the money and run, but it's get the money and invest. Correct?
I want to pause for a second, bro. You have a great voice for television.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great television voice, bro. Like, it's really good. Like, no, it is.
Man,
like, you could be on the radio. You have a great voice.
I do have a radio show.
Oh, yeah, you have a great radio voice.
Yeah, man. The primetime angles, but that's more about sports betting. I'm trying to be on the positive tip right now.
Yeah.
Get my LeVar Burton on real quick.
Yeah.
So, that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's this, right? Understand that the best time to start preparing for life after the game is the first day while you're in the game. You never know when it's going to end. It's out of your control. You have no leverage. They control everything. They control the market. They control the value. You could try to perform at a high level, but they don't want to pay you what you're worth. The market could drop. It happened to the running backs. Running backs were one of the highest paid positions, and then they decided that they didn't want to pay the running backs a lot of money, so then that market just crashed. The same thing happened to me. If you come out the wrong year in free agency, the market's different, so you don't really know. So the best thing to do is learn about money, ask about money, talk to people about money, because we don't know anything about money. Money is this foreign object to us. We're first generation wealth. You got to learn about it. Then find things to fall in love with that's outside of the game. Like if you really like food and you like those type of things, start your pub. Like me, I love the arts, and I design, I write movies, I do film, I direct. And while I played, I used to intern at Nickelodeon. I'd go to DreamWorks. I'd go, Stupid Buddy Studios. And I would just intern and learn the game while I could. So use your platform to open up the doors while the doors are easier to open. Because once you're done, those doors are hard to open unless you establish those relationships already.
All right, Devontae, what would you say to the youth?
I mean, just to piggyback on that, and then when you actually do save your money, don't be scared to take that investment, man. Like, I know a lot of guys who they got a whole bunch of money saved up, but they're scared to, like, just go out on a limb and start something for themselves. Because if you got kids, man, like, you can't hand the NFL to your kids, but you can, you know what I'm saying? But you can hand the business, you can hand the book, you can hand, you know, the pub, whatever type of gym, you know what I'm saying?
Being an athlete is not a legacy business. Let me tell you how you know it's not. Michael Jordan kids never played in the NBA.
Yep.
Facts.
100%.
Big facts.
His kids never played in the NBA.
And then you see, and you guys notice that they're top tier high school players, and then they wind up being like average college players, maybe even bench guys, transfer 2 or 3 different schools, and then at the end of the day, it's just like, well, you got to try because your father is or something of that nature, but then they get to move on, you know what I mean? But they're already blessed with the situation, especially Jordan's kids. All they have to do is just move into the corporation and just start helping sell some shoes.
But that's great, though, because they did make it to the league, and their father has something established when they're like, look, come be the president. Right? So, like, my business, the things I do, my daughter, like, I have a girl, right? Even if I have a son, there's no guarantee he's going to be 6'7", 265 pounds and run the way I do. Nor do I care if he does, right? But art and creativity, I could teach and I could pass it on.
Man, hey, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And Martellus, with you, I really feel a common bond with you because I have a brother. He's 15 months older than me, and we're tight just like you and Michael. Like, literally, like, if you're going to fight one of us, you're going to fight both of us. We have that mentality. You know, and we hang out so much, everybody's always like, how don't you guys separate? Somebody even asked me now, where's your brother at? I was like, I don't even know you. So, you know,
there's been times where Michael will be fighting somebody. I have no idea who he's fighting or why he's fighting. I just come in swinging.
Right.
And then after a while, I'm like, why are we fighting him? I have no idea why we fighting him, but we won. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. We'll deal with that later. I don't ask questions. You fight my brother, you fight me, so I'm right there with you.
So you were more of what they would say a controversial piece. I would say more of a person that kept it real. You and Michael both. And I felt like that you guys did come out with the right things to keep guys like Devontae on the right track. You guys did, you know, establish something with your ESPN specials, things of that nature, and you even being on Hard Knocks and keeping it real. You know what I mean? Keeping it real.
Yeah, that was my rookie year too. Everybody like, you're a rookie. I'm like, well, fuck what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But not for us. It's really about I never had a lot of endorsements, right? Because I'm not one of those guys that's gonna go kiss ass and try to do whatever. Like I am. You want to invest in me? You want to be? First of all, I don't hold up products. If we're not a partner, and we're not making something together, I don't do it. So, but for me, in the long run, what I'm saying is, I've always spoke my truth, right? And people like it or they hate it, but they respect it. So people know me. When you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the facts. Coach asked me something, like the coach came and asked me one day, he's like, how am I doing? Then he thought again. He's like, never mind, don't answer that question. I'm like, Coach, because if you really want to know how you doing, right? I'm gonna go. I got a whole list of notes of shit that you've been doing that I don't like, and I got a whole list of notes of shit you've been doing that I do like. It's right here in my notebook. We could go through it if you want to. Like, nah, okay.
Hey, and that reminds me of a great Paul Mooney joke, and you guys know that too off of Dave Chappelle. Yeah. And I don't want to finish the word of it, but it's an end with a brag. You know what I mean? And that's the scariest thing on earth. Yeah, and that's what you are, Martellus. Seriously.
That's why I say, if we could, right? They're not afraid of the big, strong black man. Right? There's tons of those, but the big, strong black man that's also educated. Now that's a weapon, right? Because I could whoop you with these, and I could whoop you with this. So however you want to battle, I'm here, and I'm a champion of the mind. I'm a champion of the fist. So there's been times where I had to smack somebody, and there's been times I had to out-debate somebody. I do both, however you want it.
Man, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Devontae, man, school us a little bit on your experience at Texas A&M. I'm going to get to you in a moment about that as well, too. But school me a little bit on your Texas A&M experience. You know, you being there in the past, decade and everything like that. How was it?
I mean, I actually loved it, man. With us going into the SEC my first year, me getting able to start like all 4 years, man, it was just, I loved it. I played with Johnny. I played with Mike. It was a lot of competition there that sharpened me as a player. that I loved. So
Okay, and playing for Coach Shumlin, another African-American coach and everything, how was it playing for him? Because he was such a great recruiter. He literally brought out so many, great quarterbacks and everything that went off the transfer to literally to the Big 12 and find themselves in a better situation. But I don't think – what do you think about Coach Shumlin, really?
I mean, I liked him. He's a good coach. We had our differences, back in the gap, and me and him, we know about those differences, so I won't speak on those. But all in all, he a good man. He got a great family, solid foundation around him, and as a recruiter, he's one of the best in the country.
Do you think he can build that Arizona program up?
Man, he gonna have to if he out of there. Like, he better. I think he will, man, because he know how to put pieces around him to make him better, and that's a trait of a great leader.
Man.
Beautiful stuff. All right, your experience at Texas A&M, you were a Big 12 guy, right?
Yeah, but Sumlin recruited me when he was at Oklahoma, so he's not the best recruiter in the world because he didn't get me to go to Oklahoma. But it's hard to get somebody to go to Oklahoma anyway, so
I was in Oklahoma for like a year and a half. I got up out of there.
yeah. Adrian Peterson was my host.
Oh, and you still didn't go?
We played PlayStation. Yeah, in like a trap house. A&M was a great visit. Yeah, it's a great visit.
So playing for Texas A&M at that time, I can't remember who.
Francione.
Okay, Francione was your coach at that time, and you were in the real rivalry with the Texas Longhorns.
I missed that game. I think they should bring that game. I only lost to them once, and that's the year Vince Young and them went to the championship. But we beat them every other year.
I remember.
But Texas A&M was a great experience for me. My brother was my roommate, so we were roommates there. We both started. We both played. So that was pretty much the gist of my. I played basketball there too, so I went to the Sweet 16. That was cool, but like overall, I feel like it was a good school. I mean, you really don't know because I could have went to any school in the world, but it's hard to get out of Texas, especially with my brothers there. So I enjoyed it. They had some of the best fans that you'll ever see in sports. Loud, like it's great. So I love the people. It was great. I had a good time at A&M. Would I go back? I don't know. I don't know if I did recruiting process all over again. I don't know. Like. I can't really answer, but I did really love my time there.
All right, I got a message for Texas A&M. Retire both of these men's jerseys. You guys better do that. Now, Dear Black Boy, can you go ahead and, delve into that for us a little bit?
Dear Black Boy touches on what we first started speaking of, like the rethinking, the retraining of the mind for black boys to understand that sports aren't the only thing that you have to do. And when we run in, we're training, the real game that we need to be preparing for is the game of life. We spend all this time to try to be the best athletes, but we don't and win championships, but we don't prepare the same way to win championships in life, right? So that is super important. And so this whole philosophy is about running towards freedom, right? But there's a double entendre with the word freedom in here because the number one thing is the freedom of self, right? What does that mean? You have the freedom to be wherever you want to be, however you want to be, whenever you want to be that. You don't have to play sports, and not playing sports doesn't make you less black, right? Because you like comic books, that don't mean you less black than us. Just because you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers don't make you less black than us because you don't listen to, you just as black as us, and that's okay because what happens is you'll have kids, the great athlete goes to the barbershop, and everyone hollers like, man, you got to see this kid play. He's going to be the best thing ever. He's the best. The kid that's an honor roll student that could be the next Steve Jobs walks in, no one recognizes that kid. No one be like, hey, this is the next Steve Jobs right here. So it's really about how we need to think about the black boy and how the black boy needs to think about himself. And that self-image is important because we have to see themselves, they look at us. So with the NFL, the NBA, baseball, there's a draft. You're going to see everybody that come out in this draft, they had the same circumstances as you, they overcame it, and now they're making all this money. But at the same time, there's another kid who had the same circumstances as you, who's graduating to become a doctor, who's graduating to become a lawyer, who's graduating to be an architect. So how can we magnify those so that they know and understand that there is an option and it is possible?
And these are always the things I talk about to people. I say that it's a lottery ticket to get to pro sports. Really, it is.
1,500
but
people in the NFL.
There's a million, but there's a million doctors if you just stick around school for an extra four years or so.
It's easier to become a doctor than it is to become an NFL player.
Exactly.
And that's not taking anything for a doctor. It's just that there's 1,500 guys in the NFL, and there's 100,000 of them that want to be there.
Exactly. Now, message to the guy that's going to the draft and they're telling them everything that they told you. The next thing you know, you don't get the phone call. What's your message to them?
Just don't give up. I mean, I'm in tears. Like, I'm at my sister track meet at Baylor, like crying. I'm fifth round going, sixth round going, seventh round, and nothing. Like,
Right.
you know.
Mel Kiper over there calling your name out.
You
every
know,
5
yeah,
minutes,
you know what I'm saying? Nothing. I'm talking about like nothing. So I mean, you know, it crushes you, but then you just gotta see what type of resiliency you have. Like how resilient are you? How bad do you really want this? If you really want to be in the league, if you really want to play multiple years, you know, you just gonna get your chance at camp, ball out, catch their eye, make the team. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta stick out, bro. Like, you know, and you can't be scared of your margin of error, because when you're not drafted, your margin of error is so small compared to someone who is. So you just can't think about that. You just gotta not be scared to make a mistake and go get it. You know.
My brother wasn't drafted either.
Man,
So when they draft a player, they be like, he's a Michael Bennett type of player, right? Like he created a way to play, which is fascinating to me. And I was drafted in the second round, and my first 4 years was horrible, right? Because I didn't really get to play. I was a backup to Jason Witten. But when I left, I got to become a starter. But everybody was labeling me as a bust.
I never did. I
I
thought
know.
he was a baller. They just had him out there 80% of the time.
95% of the time. One time he showed up, he didn't have a spleen. His spleen had ruptured. It's like, yeah, we don't think Witten's gonna play this week. And sure enough, game day he jogs out the tunnel, and they're like, hey, Martellus, you're on the bench. I'm like, man, this shit here, man. Yeah.
Look, and what was another thing that was very special about you and your brother? You both played for the Cowboys, but your brother recently played for him. It seemed like he got a boost to his career as soon as he left the Patriots, like going to Dallas. And
Well, he
everything
wasn't
like
playing
that.
much with the Patriots.
Right.
It wasn't a lot of times what happens is the right defense or the right offense,
It seemed
right?
like that.
Some guys luck up and be in a perfect situation for them for their skill set, and there's some coaches who know how to adapt to players. There's a lot of coaches that don't know how to adapt to players. They want players to adapt to the scheme, when really they should let that player do whatever it is that makes him best. So the good coaches, they do that, but the Patriots switched their defense up, and my brother went back with Chris Richard, who's his coach in Seattle, so it's easy for him to get back there and do what he does best, because that's the system he shines in, and the way they play him, where they put him in the positions and moving around, it was a good one.
And it was almost like he was playing like a kid again. Like you could see the passion in it, and he really helped them like boost up that defense that was having some issues at the time. So it was fun watching him play this year. So is he going to be returning to the Cowboys?
No, I don't know. He's contemplating retirement right now. So, I mean, after 10, 11 years, it's just kind of like, you know, and especially when he's a guy who owns like 10 Jamba Juices and a bunch of other restaurants and stuff like that. And, you know, he built schools in Africa, you know, things like that. So he has a lot to offer. He's friends with, you know, Bernie Sanders and the Obamas, you know. So it's like, what else can I get out of the game? Because that train does have to stop. You got to figure out when you want to get off, because if you stay on too long, it's possible you'll crash. Because now you get to the age where you have kids and you like, is the risk worth the reward, right? I'd rather be around for my kids. My kids deserve a fully functional father, and my wife deserves a fully functional husband, right? So it's like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So especially if I have something else that I can do I do very well.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, one last question. We are here at the Super Bowl. We're here at the NFL Experience. Let me tell you guys a fun story. I was at the first ever NFL Experience in Pasadena. You guys, the Dallas Cowboys, beat down the Buffalo Bills, but it was such a great experience, and going out there and thinking that you could kick a 40-yard field goal, and then it just doesn't even go in the air. So it was a pretty crazy moment for me and everything like that. But what is your prediction for the Super Bowl coming up Sunday? And do you have an MVP for that game?
I have no dogs in this race, so I really don't care who wins. I ain't getting no money from it. I ain't getting no glory from it. I don't even watch sports personally. I mean, I might have it on. I'm a book reader, so I might be reading a book with it on in the background on silent. If something cool happened, I might turn it on, but I don't really watch sports like that, so I'm not really invested in the game. Travis Kelce's one of my friends. I like to see him do well, but I more check the stats to make sure my boys are balling. Right, hey, you got 100, and I could look at the game cast, like the situation, like time of possession, and tell you how the game went without even watching it.
Man, I might need to have you come on over and help me out a little bit. Devontae, what's your prediction, man?
I mean, I got boys on both sides. So, you know, long as people show up to my restaurant and watch the game and eat, I'm good.
Man, give them the name, give them the address, and we definitely going to be there when I'm there on the 29th.
Yeah, Harris House of Heroes on McKinney Avenue, 3403 McKinney Avenue, Dallas, Texas, Uptown. We open 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. So y'all come see us.
I'm coming to Dallas next month to shoot a Dear Black Boy piece.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get your information, hit you up, and
I'll take care of you.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. All right, I got you. I'll be out there. I'll be out there sometime next month to shoot the short film. Yeah. All right.
And just before we move on, I'm from LA, and this was a very you guys know what happened. I just want to get you guys' thoughts on Kobe passing. If you don't want to answer, it's fine.
I mean, for me as a father of a daughter, I mean, for me that was the really when I look at my daughter and how close we are, and for me though, and thinking about like leaving my wife behind when we left the house, you don't expect that. I mean, that to me was very, very, you know, heartfelt. Everybody, even the other kids who were there, like I could imagine sending my daughter with someone to go somewhere and something happened. Like it's just for all the families in it. As a family man, that was like the most, you know, impactful thing for me. So, but you know, for me, I just look at it just made me want to spend even more time with my daughter and do more times with my family, and just, I mean, you really only could live life because none of it is guaranteed for any of us, and you never know when the thing is, death happens, and you never know when it's your turn. So like I used to be really motivated by death. That's why I used to do so many things, because I wanted to accomplish things before I died. But then I realized that I should be motivated by life, which is just this year. I started realizing that like I have so many good things in my life that those things should motivate me to be wherever it is I want to be, just being present. So that was like the most touching thing. I would never want my wife or my brother or any other family to any other families in a situation to have to go through that. You know, it's just hard.
Devontae?
Man, I have a little boy. You know, I'm a father. So like just losing a child like that'll kill me, man. Like that'll put a hole in me that, you know, that I don't know that I'll be able to, you know, overcome. So my prayers and condolences are out to that family. I pray that people around them just support them, uplift them, and stay with them. And like I said, like he was saying, man, it's just as a father losing a child, it's hard to speak on.
Got you. Real quick, Marty, where can we go pick up your book at?
You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it at theimaginationagency.com, or you can get here at the Super Bowl, depending on when you're watching this and where you're at. But the book is available. Make sure you purchase it. I believe everyone wants to be an activist, and the biggest form of activism is buying black. There's no other form of activism as powerful as buying black, because that is the most powerful thing. So go check out my man's restaurant.
Yes, sir.
Get you some shrimp and grits.
Yes, sir.
Right when you're in town, you're in Dallas. Send me that too, so I can post it on my.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man.
I'm supporting you, bro.
Man, that's love. I'm
Right, I can't wait to eat there. I don't even want my food for free either. I want to pay for my meal.
All right, man, bro.
I want to pay for my
Get you
meal.
right, man.
Yeah.
Get you right.
You can give me my drinks for free.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, my appetizer. My appetizer.
See, I
Yeah.
appetizers or meals, but I got you. I'm gonna take care of you.
All right. I can't wait
promise
to
you
eat there. I'm excited.
Man, I'm live.
All right.
Man, I'm gonna get you right, bro.
All right.
It's gonna be an experience. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
That experience is the new brand.
Yes, most definitely.
That's why when I do my book readings, I create an experience. I don't just read the book.
Yeah, I love
I'm
it.
here. I'm trying to get people to experience the brand.
And I love the energy you showed, man. 'Cause, you know, I sat over there, I watched it.
Thank you.
I love it. You know how you approach the kids. And
Thank you.
that take on you, bro.
Thank you.
Real talk.
Appreciate
Respect.
it.
Awesome stuff. This is one of my best interviews ever. It was such a pleasure, Devontae, Marty. Thank you guys so much. It's your boy Pop DiBiase signing out for Fanatics View.
You just listen to him talk.
Yeah,
You need to get an audiobook deal.
come on. Let me get your phone number. Get me
I
right.
don't know.
What's up, sports fans? Bryant Page here with Fanatics Viewed. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed watching and you want to see more content, subscribe down below.